Hey everybody, so my Milwaukee M12 grease gun not priming saga continues. It went to use it this evening and ran out of grease, went to change out the tube, and same issue again, I couldn't get it to prime. And I rechecked it, and if any of you saw my other video before, the first video I made about this grease gun, what was happening the first time was when I would change out the tube of grease, when this rubber grommet was released inside of this canister, the grommet was catching the edges of the cardboard and it was collapsing this cardboard and crumpling it up inside the canister that holds the grease. And once I got that figured out and straightened that out, I was able to release this rubber grommet very easily, just very gently, and let it go up inside the tube of grease where it wouldn't collapse this cardboard. Well, this evening when I was using it, it was not priming again, and this time what I just figured out is that this grommet, the rubber grommet on this thing is a little bit too large to go inside of a grease tube. It goes inside of it, but once it gets just to this edge right here, that edge doesn't want to go in. It's a little bit too large. But once you get it to go up, and if you work it a little bit and get it to go up inside there, it will work. Now you cannot stick it in there and reattach the tube of grease, because it won't work. You've got to put the grease in this canister and put it back on. But what I wanted to make sure you understood, it's not necessary at all. And I messed up on my first video and said to remove this when you change the tube of grease. I messed up, got ahead of myself. It's not necessary to take this off, and you're not supposed to take this off when you're changing out a tube of grease. It's supposed to stay on the canister. But for the purpose of showing you the issue that what's wrong with these grease guns, the reason they're not priming is because this rubber grommet on the end is a little bit too large and a little bit too thick, and is having trouble getting up inside that tube of grease. Even if you rub some grease around the outer edge and inside edge of it and on the rubber grommet real well, it's still binding up. So Milwaukee, if y'all haven't figured this out yet, and this is the first time y'all are seeing this, and y'all resolve the issue because of this, y'all send me some of them good $100+ M18 batteries. Don't send me those Mickey Mouse ones. I want to send me them 5.0s or bigger. But anyway, I wanted to take this off so you could see what was going on. But the grommet on this thing is the main issue that's not letting this thing reprime. And like I say, it's too large, and it's sometimes causing this cardboard on these grease tubes to collapse. So if you do make the mistake of pulling this thing off and unscrewing it, just release it. Take the release the tension on the spring, because it is a pain in the posterior to try and get this thing lined back up. The easiest thing to do is release the tension on it, just like that. Fully release it back to its fully extended position. Run it up inside the tube, just like that, so the spring and everything goes inside. And then from there, you can screw it back together very, very easily. And then once it's screwed back together, then you can fully retract it like it's supposed to be for the natural process of changing out a tube of grease. And when you do that, you don't get the string from your rag wrapped up in it like I just did. Get that out of the way. Loosen this thing, or tighten that spring and everything back up. This is very difficult. Both your hands are very greasy. But retract that spring all the way now. Put the new tube of grease in. With the silver edge goes toward the top, which goes toward the inside of the grease gun. Stick that in there. Screw it back on. And then from there, this is where you'll feel this thing when it tries to retract. You can actually, if you hold your hand on it, you can kind of feel and kind of tell if that grommet rubber goes up inside that tube of grease. And I think I heard it just kind of make a push out, a little puff of air out of the back. So we'll stick it up in there and see. Oh. apologies. Set this rag here. Let's see what this thing does. There she goes. So that's what's going on with this thing. Good grease gun. A little bit of a design flaw in the with the grommet on it, getting it back inside that tube of grease so it can push all that grease to the end. And my apologies for the low light. It was getting late today, but I wanted to get this out there, so hopefully save somebody the headache I've had today or this evening. But hope everybody has a great weekend.